Am I live? I don't know. I should be, but this thing never lets me know in time. So, oh, there. Okay. Yep, I am. Damn it. Hi, everyone. So, hey, just Brett, Tia, Diane, Lil Red, Claire, who else? Who else? Tifa, Susan. What's up, guys? Hey, Dottie, Absinthe. I said Claire, right? I think I said Claire, yeah. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Hoot3. Okay, so I might have jumped the gun here a little bit. I don't really have anything prepared, but I also haven't really I haven't made the rounds yet today. So I don't know. Did she like maybe upload or do any interesting lives or anything today? Thought I'd maybe just check, and if not, then I'm sure we can find something to do or something to talk about or something to watch or whatever. I felt like hanging out for a little bit before I went to bed. So, because I had to work late tonight. Hey, Beauty. Hey, Laugh Through Life. Hey, Amy. Y'all look what the cat dragged in. Hey, Mama Bear. She did a boring Instagram live this evening. Okay. Hey, Aaron. It still sounds so weird to say. Mama Bear. Well, I don't want to watch a boring Instagram live. I know there's a few things recently I haven't watched. Hey, Christy. Hey, Jen. She went ballistic on the lawyers. It was what today in her Instagram? She mom shamed a Duggar. Wow. Was it like over religious shit or? Hi Tia. It was good. My day was good. Actually, my day was very good. A hectic night at work, but it's okay. Jen, yeah, Jen, I'm trying to I really want to branch out there. I'm like always looking. Um like I feel like with Critical K, I found like another I guess YouTuber or whatever that I feel like I can pull that off with. I'm trying to branch out even more. I feel like I have to find like a right I don't know, right kind of mix of someone who's just kind of an asshole and someone who just doesn't care that they're an asshole. I mean, there has to be like an actual sense of entitlement there, I think. And I don't know. It's been hard for me to find. But yes, I would love to. Hey, EK, whatever it's called. Did you see Kate? Yeah, I did see that. Oh my god, that was hilarious. I think that I think Mandapan's handled it beautifully though, because I mean, I feel like if she had let Katie on the stream, Katie would have just dominated. She would have just not cared. She wouldn't have cared about the chat. She wouldn't have cared about questions. She just would have just ran her mouth to her narrative and just ignored everything else. I think you really need a plan or something if you're going to bring Katie on or allow Katie to come onto a stream or go on to a stream with her, whatever. I don't really know what that plan would be. I guess it all depends on what the issue is at hand or who the person is, but I feel like you need a plan though. It's making a late supper, long day. Yeah, it is. It is. It's late at night. It always hits me. I don't get it. It's like if I get up and walk around too, then it'll just clear up. I'm fine. But this like it's the second I sit down and just don't move or don't do anything, then it just hits me. It'll go away though in a little bit. Okay. Okay, someone said something. Where to go? I saw someone where she went off on Emily, and someone said something about her going off on lawyers. Oh yeah, okay. Amy Anstey said she went ballistic on the lawyers. It was epic. Where did she do this at? The one who was all about her. She has about plan, but Nate, the one who was all about her under the bus. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. When you eat cheese. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you. Just that's probably one of the funniest things I heard. When you eat cheese. Do you know why it is? I'm kind of curious, like why, like what about cheese that like causes that? I mean, it's gotta suck. Cause I love cheese. Yeah, I just walk around not being able to breathe like ever. Yes, she said Emily is going to find herself included in the next case. I saw someone who had a video. But I know she in Katie's Q&A that she did the other night, she discussed Emily. But she didn't really go off on any other lawyers, though. Oh, that I can recall. So I'm thinking maybe what you're talking about is a different video than the Q&A. Which, yeah, maybe. I mean, that would have driven Katie nuts if Amanda Pants had just flat out ignored her. Oh my God, so she would have just gone apeshit, which would have been, hilarious. But I mean, I get why Amanda just, gave her. I feel like Amanda gave her like the smallest bit of attention possible as you can with Katie. I know, Diane. She is. Oh my gosh, she's crazy jealous of her. It's funny. Hey, Nana. GTA. Billy Martin. Shazzy. Possibly be the case. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Disparaging. I know, disparaging. Yeah, that freaking killed me though. Her Q&A that when she started just going off and off, like, I mean, just she's talking about actually collecting like screenshots or evidence of all these tweets and everything from Emily or between Emily and whoever else, and she's talking about it like they're like it's evidence, but then she describes it as just saying like unflattering things or not nice things or disparaging things. Like, really, that's you're not allowed to do that on the internet? Like, are you fucking really? You're kidding me, right? I mean, oh my God. Christy, that would be interesting. That would be. I don't know how I'd handle that. Actually, I think I do know how I'd handle that. I know. I know. She's talking about how she'd have to use Brown or whatever because it'd be too expensive to bring in a new attorney. But yet she's talking about like if Toddy were to refile, then she's going to go after Emily. Because I mean, and think about it, she's going to be suing a lawyer if she does that. Is her second lawsuit that she's bringing on, and like I just feel like that if the first one didn't bankrupt her, then the second one I think would be likely to do that. That would be funny to watch, though. Yeah, Little Red, I don't think she would either, but I don't know. Who knows? She just when I think that she really can't surprise me anymore, she goes and surprises me. So who knows? I'm going to drop this in the comments if anyone wants to join. You haven't missed anything yet, Chicken Cakes. Aaron, did you catch her live this evening? No, I didn't. Actually, I was kind of talking about maybe putting something up, but I hadn't seen anything from her today. I'm actually like still making the rounds and shit in social media. So, oh, that reminds me. Before I forget, let me do something quick. Oh, I say quick, but it may take a minute. So there's that. Okay. So I went to share this awesome channel, Just Brett. And I'm looking at my chat here, and I want to share this one too. If you guys haven't checked out, wait a minute. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think Renelle Smith. Well, Smith, obviously, but I can pronounce that one. But Renelle, I think. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. She reviewed a new show. Yeah, I saw that. I think on yesterday or something. Doesn't she have you blocked? No, I could see her in Manda Bear stream. Or Amanda Pants. Why did I say Amanda Bear? Wow. And yeah, Amanda Pants stream. I could see her. I don't know why she doesn't have me blocked. I mean, I've commented on her shit enough times, where I think I've maybe annoyed her. Right. Just an FYI, Jesse's been lurking in comments after your life. It's okay. He can hang out in the comments. Whatever. I mean, I don't really like to like black people or anything, and also too, I mean, like I feel like we're all kind of like adults here, so I mean, I feel like I know, I don't know, if someone's going to come at me wrong, I feel like I can handle it, and I feel like we can all kind of handle that, or we can just choose to ignore it, and same goes. I mean, and if that's I feel like that if that's the reaction Jesse inspires out of anyone, then so be it, But I mean, he's a big boy too, so I mean, he can handle whatever shit he brings his way too, That's I don't know. That's how I feel. Unless, of course, someone were to come in the comments or the chat and were to start like using, just hate speech and shit like that, then obviously, that's a different story. But so recorded her Instagram. Well, let me check her out. Let me check out Instagram. I think it's still there. I can download it. Oh, shit. Which one do I use for Instagram? I don't remember. Those are all YouTube downloaders. Wow. Huh, I got 4 of these open. Okay. Well, one of these will work, I'm sure. Maybe. Oh, is this one where I have to like open it in a new tab or something first? Some shit. Nope. Okay, I got it. All right, just take a second to download. What was the date? It was the 20th, I believe. So 3/20/2021. Okay, I'll just take a second to download. and get back to my chat. There we go. Did I miss anything? Oh, that's right too. I want to put this in here. There we go. Whoa, what did I just do? How to make the screen all big? There. All right, about halfway downloaded. Is that playing? Oh. Huh. Okay, let's see. She blacked me yesterday for calling her a clown. Hey, Bonita. You know, yeah, I noticed how she seems to get very, very upset over, or it just drives her nuts, anyways, over the concept of thought or the possibility or whatever of anyone making money while talking about her. I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of funny if just channels I mean, even if we did it anonymously or whatever, just freaking just said, hey, I made X amount of money off of you. And just like, if all the channels were to do this and just, but I know like a lot of people probably don't want to share like what they make on their channel. I get that. So, I mean, even if it's just anonymous then, so like, there's just like a claim that this amount of money is made by a channel. I feel like they would just drive her nuts. Hey, LRC. Yeah, I know. She doesn't care. She doesn't care, but she's obsessed with it. Oh my God. I know. Yeah, I agree, Diane. See, that's the thing though, too. I mean, like if none of these channels or us channels or whatever, if none of us were making any money off of talking about it, it's not like that money would then go into her pocket. I mean, it's not like we're keeping her from making money. And I know I talked about this before. I like to think that each channel kind of brings something to the table. So if anyone does get views or subscribers or gets monetized or makes money, that it isn't just Katie or her name or her hypocrisy being discussed that does it. It's kind of each creator maybe brings something to the table as well. Because I know like she talks about Emily and everything. Well, Emily has a law degree. I mean, and she's got a great personality and everything too. I think, just it being smart and knowing what she's talking about and just making people want to listen to it, whether they're interested or not, just because she's her, that's a huge thing. I mean, Katie can't take credit for like any of that, as much as hard as she'd like to try. But. Okay. All right, this should be downloaded. Let's see. Oh, I love this. I love that I don't have to go over to Chrome. It's awesome. Oh, it's annoying. Why isn't it on here now? There we go.
Hello, everyone. There's been a lot of questions, so I'm going to just jump on a live really quick. I did not take a shower today. I don't have any makeup on. This is me being real life. So if you guys, I did a mask today, so my face is a little bit red, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go real life. We don't always have to have our makeup on. We don't always have to have our filters on. We can just be real life. So,
Yes, this is from today, I guess.
I posted a few things earlier this afternoon or just a little bit ago about the Jed and Katie situation. And I wanted to just come on here and clarify. I already noticed that Reddit was talking about it. And I think Reddit is starting to realize that I'm not making this kind of stuff up because I don't feel like you should make these kinds of things up. Like, you probably shouldn't start rumors. You should probably have sources that know people and can verify things. So obviously, because of my coverage, I get people that are circling around the Duggars, that are friends of the Duggars, that are connected to the Duggars, that are family, loose family, that are, and then when a new person comes in, whether it's, a man or a woman, oftentimes family members of the partner will come forward, friends, family, whatever. So today, I saw the video about Jed, right? And I was like, this is weird. This ceremony seems really weird. The engagement felt different. It felt like they were walking into something that was very formal. It felt like they knew what was about to happen. It didn't seem like there was like some sort of surprise, like, I'm getting down on one knee. And there was this like utter lack of emotion by both of them. Like, it didn't seem like they did this like awkward side hug, and it just felt really bizarre. Like, even with like, I can think of like the girls, like with Derek and Jill, there was a lot more emotion. With Jessa and Ben, there was a lot more emotion. Ginger and Jeremy, obviously, we know how Ginger felt about Jeremy. So when I saw how like clinical it was, I was like, they're so weird. It felt staged. It felt like awkward. And then you see them and they're not holding hands. And so I'm like, okay, something's going on here. And then the vows, yeah, they didn't hold hands. Then the vows were really weird. And I was like, what is this? Are these purity vows? Well, actually, no, that's not what they were doing. So what happened was this afternoon, I get a DM. About Jana is dating someone. Now, that was also confirmed to me today, too. So she is courting someone, and apparently, before we get into the Jed stuff, here's what I was told today. Jeremiah, Jason, Jana, and Jed all are in relationships right now, and apparently the Duggars are being really weird about all of it. So I don't know who Jason is courting, but I was told that he's involved with someone. Jeremiah, I'm assuming, is courting Hannah Wisman, and I'm assuming that Jana is courting Stephen Wisman. I had people reach out to me that saw Jana and Stephen at an event around Valentine's Day at some sort of church in Arkansas. And there's like this like smaller church that some of them go to where they keep everything very like the Duggars, obviously, with their presence, they have to find churches that will not like push them out or like, will like help them keep their privacy. So I guess there's like some local churches around there that Jana and this guy could go to, and people would not like put out that stuff. So apparently
where'd it go? Someone just asked, oh, have you done entitlement translator to Katie's tweets? I can't remember. No, I haven't. I've only done it to videos, like where she's, speaking or whatever. I've considered it though, like to sum her for tweets, especially when she goes on a tangent. I could try it. Can you drop the link for this live? Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. Also too, someone had mentioned how like this is kind of boring. I was just looking through my downloads, and there's a one I think that we might all enjoy watching a little more. I mean, I think we've all seen it before pretty much, but I mean, it's one of the ones where just, I think like if you watch it 2 or 3 times and you see that you still get something out of it. It's funny. But I can put that on. But let me put the link to this one though first. So here is the link to this one. It's a Instagram live from today and it's still posted. So that's what I posted. Okay. All right. So I'm going to switch this out. I'm going to put one that I know that we all kind of chuckled at a little bit when she first aired it. All right, what's the date on it? 131. There it is.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, Nisi.
How is everyone?
Or Nikki. It's Nikki, isn't it? Why did I keep
Oh,
saying
I
Nisi?
accidentally knocked a button when I hit one of your comments, Rebecca. You said, hey guys, and I accidentally somehow bumped this thing and indirectly hid you by accident. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. But anyways, hi guys, welcome. I made a mistake on my hit a button. Welcome.
Okay, I see someone in the chat saying that they wanted to finish watching the Instagram. So tell you what, type a 1 if you want to watch the Instagram, and 2 if you want to watch this or something else. I don't know, but just how about 1 for Instagram, 2 for not Instagram or not today's Instagram. This one, I think she's over in this one. Yeah, this is the one where she kind of like starts breaking down and crying like over everything about this. It's kind of sad fishing a lot throughout it. 1.5 July boo. One then 2. Okay, well, we can do 1 then 2. We'll wait and see how long the Instagram live is. So I didn't even pay attention. So, all right. All right, yeah, it looks like the Instagram has it. Looks like the Instagram has it. All right, so I'll go back to that one. Video file. Okay, I'm just gonna forward it a little bit since I know like we.
Hello, everyone. Like help them keep their privacy. So I guess there's like some local church wife that's Katie's mom is a Mormon. And I guess I'm told that when Kimberly, Katie's mom, joined the LDS church, Corey was not cool with that and she didn't want to leave the church. And so they ended up breaking up, I guess, over their faith. And Corey and the kids are still very much into the IBLP world. So Corey's Christian.
I don't think I can speed her up because I'm playing a media file from, I guess I downloaded it. Can you but even if I played it through Instagram, can you speed up on Instagram like you can on YouTube? Because if you can, then I'll play it on Instagram because it's still up. But you mean her, right? Not me, right? It's not my nose you're talking about, Christy? All right. I'm going to go back. I don't think I can speed her up in this. I don't know. I don't think I have the option.
Kimberly is Mormon. Katie's Christian. Corey has been very much part of the IBLP for a long time. He's remarried to a woman with a K name. I think her name is Carrie. And she's the stepmother. I think she's mostly like, I think she still has a relationship with her biological mom. I just don't know like to what extent. And I also don't know like how involved she is in all of this. But the person I talked to said that this arrangement was complete, like their marriage was totally arranged. So they basically said that it's a financial arrangement. And I don't know what that means. I'm guessing maybe like a dowry, maybe. I have no idea. But they arranged the two of them, and it's a betrothal. So it's different than a courtship. And when you are arranged or betrothed to someone, it's totally different in the fundamentalist world.
Thank you for becoming a member. Y'all, look what the cat dragged in.
You need a new beer? Get those beer. This beer is called Mexican Honey. It's by Indeed Brewing Company. It's an imperial lager. No, I have a theory about why he's trying to marry off Jed. And I think it has to do with political stuff. But anyways, so here's what I was told. I was told it was a royal fundy wedding. So apparently Corey is wealthy. And Corey has a lot of condos that he owns. He is a property owner, and then he has a flight school that he owns.
Thank you for the super chat, Daddy Morgan. Love your hilarious uploads. Thank you, or thanks for all you do. Thank you. And I love your live chat. Seriously, like I listen to it like every now and then. Well, I listen to it probably a few times at work. I listen to live streams like all the time at work, constantly. And like I listen to you, I listen to Red. Sometimes I listen to Charlotte. But yours, though, I love yours because like I don't know, it's just like you can sit there and you can listen to it, and he's not going to get you all riled up or whatever, about Katie, is maybe you'll cover Katie and just like, like the memes or whatever, and it's funny, just everyone laughs. But mostly it's like, it's where I want to be to hang out when I just want to be somewhere and hang out, I love your lives for that. Seriously. Like, I think maybe all of us should do that a little more. No, thank you. Like, there are some days, man, your shit just makes work go by so quick. It's awesome.
His grandmother and his grandfather are actually immigrants from Japan. So Corey is very into his Japanese heritage. His father is 100% Japanese. His grandmother's name was Tomi, and his grandfather's name was Koryo. And so Corey actually made a movie. Wild, right? I watched the whole movie. His grandmother sounds pretty cool, actually. It's wild because I wonder if his grandmother would be like, this is so cool what you're doing or whatever. But anyways, so his grandmother is from a family in Japan that has like political ties. And I guess so his grandmother's uncle was in the House of Representatives in Japan. And he was in the House of Representatives for many terms, and he went broke. And he made a lot of money while he was in the government, but he also like spent more money than he was making. And so what happened is that the grandfather or the uncle, his great uncle, right? That's right. His great uncle ends up like basically his great great uncle basically gets the family in a really financial crisis. And so
someone asked a minute ago, I think it's Pink Flamingo, was it? Yeah. Asked who she was talking about, and I said one of the Duggars, I think, but I'm not positive. So does anyone know who she's talking about? And thank you, Lola Pepper, for the super sticker. How's it going? It's going good. How's it going for you? Oh, what your uncle said. You just got here? Awesome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I have no idea who she's talking about. I honestly, the Duggars, like I know that there's like a whole bunch of names, but I don't even know who's like if I had to pick a name on one side to place with a face on the other side, I would fail when it came to the Duggars. Hey, Atticus. Oh, thank you for the super sticker, Pink Flamingo. She's talking about the family that one of the Duggars is marrying into. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay, cool.
What happens is his grandmother's father, and the way that inheritance works in Japan, I learned so much today. Thank you, Corey. The way that inheritance works in Japan is that it goes to like the eldest son. And so his uncle was the eldest son. And so their grandfather was really wealthy. So Tomi's dad or Tomi's grandpa was very wealthy. And he had like a mansion and he had like, I don't even know what he did. I am not sure what he did in Japan, but he was very wealthy. And they had like political connections. And when the dad passed away, the uncle was supposed to inherit everything based on Japanese like inheritance traditions. Like the oldest son is supposed to get everything. And so her dad, Tomi's dad, was underneath in terms of like the age. I know it's very confusing. So anyways, Corey is our hero with all of this information. Yes, here, I'll show you some photos so you can see. Okay. So this is his great-great-grandfather. So this is actually, or great, yeah. So this is his grandmother's father. Okay. And then, no, actually, this is his that's his grandmother on in the white with the white, and then next to her is her father. Okay, and they came from a wealthy family in Japan. Okay, and she was, and that's her. Okay, and she was the youngest daughter, I think, of them. Okay. So his grandmother was in Japan, and her dad, which I'll go back to the dad so you have some like frames of references here. So here's her with her dad. So her dad is her brother and her, she's got an older sister and she's got like two brothers, and then there's her, and she's the youngest girl, okay? And her dad's brother is the oldest of the family, and he is set to inherit all of the family's wealth, okay? But he ends up going into politics. So her uncle in the white, that's Tomi, her uncle goes into politics, and he ends up he spends a ton of money, and he basically squanders the family's fortune. So in order for the family to get right, Tomi's father, who has the bow tie on, sent her brother to the United States to work to help pay off the uncle's debt so that they didn't lose the family mansion, okay? So once they send the son to the United States, what happens is they realize that Tomi, who is going to school, and she just doesn't like, she's going to school in Japan, and they move around to get her a better education. They actually arrange her to be married to another family, another prominent family that is from Japan, but this guy is already in the United States. So at the time, what happened is that she couldn't go over there until she was married to him. So they sent a picture, and she was called a picture bride. And so basically what they would do is if there was a Japanese immigrant here, the families would exchange photos. And I'm sharing all of this with you so you understand why arrangement is a part of this family's history. So her parents exchange a photo with the other parents, and neither one of them see photos until they actually meet each other. It's crazy. But her husband's family comes from another family that's sort of prominent in the area. So in order to get her over there, they marry her in Japan without her ever meeting him so that she can go over on an immigrant visa. And then when she comes, she enters the United States through San Francisco, and she goes through like Angel Island. Okay. And once they get to Angel Island, she meets him for the very first time, and they
Like seriously, like I looked into my own like family history and ancestry and everything, and I gotta say, and this they had to do with my own family. And half the time I started reading something, I became bored as hell about it. Why is she going on about this? I mean, what's the point? What does this even have to do with the Duggars today? Who the freak cares? I mean, unless it's your own family, I don't see anyone really like dying to know this shit. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why people watch her. I don't get it.
they get formally married in the United States. Okay. So then I'm just sharing this all so you understand. So Katie's family is, her grandparents are her great grandparents are Japanese. Corey, her dad, is really into this Japanese history. And when they come here to the United States, his grandmother and her grandfather, they open this market, Angel Island. Yes, they open a market, but there's so much. They talk about the internment camps. They were never put in the internment camps, but they came here before the war, and it's just a really interesting. I was like, why am I even watching this? But it was actually kind of fascinating if you like want to know the history of like some Japanese immigrants that didn't go to internment camps and what they had to go through. It was pretty rough. They like lived in restricted areas and stuff. And so it was basically talking about like during all of that time, they met a family, a woman that was a reverend, and that's how they converted from Buddhism to Christianity. And so even though they converted from all of the like from Buddhism to Christianity, he is still like really into they opened a market. Yeah. So they not only did they open a market, but they farmed. So they moved to California for a period of time, and they did farming, and they couldn't own property at the time because they weren't allowed to become citizens, and because there was such extensive like racism against Japanese Americans at the time. So they ended up farming for a while. Then they moved to Arizona, and they still weren't able to buy property, but they were able to rent some farming land. And then during the internment area, during the war, they were never put in the internment camps, but their neighbors who were Caucasian basically took care of them. And so their neighbors, they weren't allowed to go like shopping. They couldn't go get groceries. They weren't allowed to sell their produce. And they had all of these people that were like Caucasian around them that were like helping them basically survive, which is awesome. It's like awesome to hear these kinds of stories that there was like people way back in the day that were doing things to help this family. And apparently over time, they save all of their money. She gets really freaked out, and they're not allowed to put any money in the bank during this whole time. And this is, I don't know, I'm just sharing this. This is just wild stuff. Anyways, they're not allowed to put any money in the bank during this time. And she apparently cashes out all of her money. She puts it in $100 bills, and she puts it into a mason jar, and she buries it underneath a tree in her yard, because during this time, Japanese Americans were not allowed to use the banks. So anyways, once the war is over and Japanese Americans were allowed to become citizens, she ended up going to get the money, and she ends up buying some property. So after they buy the property, she's able to rent some space, and they open a market. And so their farm had been where they just where they just sold their produce, and it turned into where they just like had like a roadside stand, and then it turned into a market, and it was called Nakatsu Ranch Market. And it was open for years and years and years. And apparently his grandmother, Tomi, was his grandfather was like really laid back, and like his grandmother was like the force. Okay. So anyways, his father, Frank, he has this tie to his Japanese heritage. And so his grandparents both end up passing away. So his grandfather passes away, I think in like 1967. And even though they were arranged, they had 9 kids, and they were still like, they loved each other. They respected each other. The kids were interviewed, and even the kids said that their parents had a really good relationship. They didn't like, the dad was like really supportive of the mother. So anyways, his dad then marries his mother. So his dad, his name is Frank, and I think they had 2 boys, Jimmy and Frank. Isn't it weird that I know all these names? So Jimmy and Frank, both of them have since passed away, but Frank was married to a white woman. So they're 100% Japanese, and he marries a white woman, and her name was Elsie. And he and Elsie, Frank and Elsie, have like 2 kids, I think. And so of those kids is Corey. And then they get divorced. How do I hold all of this information?
For people just coming in, this is her Instagram live from today. And I have to say, I was warned ahead of time that it was like boring as hell. But there's supposed to be some good parts though in it too. So just, I don't know, if I start falling asleep or something, just, I don't know. I shouldn't though. I should be all right.
Information, it's a steel trap. I love learning this kind of stuff though. Like if I'm interested in something, you guys, I'll watch somebody's genealogy video. This was fascinating to me, honestly. Like I didn't know much about, I felt like I learned a lot about internment time. You know, you don't really like ever see things from the immigrant perspective. It's fascinating to me. My grandparents were immigrants, and I always think like, God, it would be so cool if I could see like a video about my grandparents. You know, they came from Germany, and I would love to see something like that, but nothing like that exists for me. So I feel like sometimes I'm like, I want to watch other people's stuff. So anyways, he is really into, even though they're Christians, he's very attached to that history, right? His father is Japanese, so he's half Japanese, obviously, and he has his grandmother that he absolutely loves, and his grandmother was known to like make food and take care of the whole community. And I can share you a link. Like when I make a video on YouTube, I'll share you the whole link. It's hard to share links on Instagram. So anyways, he's really into, I think.
Comment there. Ray says there's immigrants everywhere, Katie. If you ever left your bedroom and went out to make friends, LOL. Do you guys remember around Martin Luther King Day? She did a video, she did a live stream, and she was talking about how her son's special ed teacher was teaching her son about, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And she was explaining to him, who he was and how he was killed and everything. And I guess, the teacher said, he was, more or less basically killed for the color of his skin. And so then the teacher asked her son, do you know anyone, do you know any Black people or whatever? And so Katie starts talking about, she mentions to her son about how they used to have a nurse or whatever. So, Katie says the nurse's name. Yeah, buddy, remember so-and-so or whatever. So then Katie starts talking about how they had all these different nurses and everything, like different ethnicities and different nationalities and everything. And even like a gay nurse or something and trans or whatever. And then Katie says, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. She says, we've been lucky. We've had such diversity with the help. Or she didn't say help. No, I think she said with I think she might have said help. She said nurses or forget how she worded it, but we've been lucky to have such diverse help. That's what she said. She didn't say the help. And I was just like, wow, oh my God, that is just the most, I don't even know, like tone deaf thing I've ever heard. Are you kidding me? We've been lucky to have such diverse help. Wow.
Like help them keep their privacy. So I guess there's like some local churches around there. Family is her grandparents are
Every time I go to hit pause or play or something, I hit like the bar back down. My bad. So it was like around the 22-minute mark, I think.
My grandparents, they came from Germany, and I would love to see something like that, but nothing like that exists for me. So I feel like sometimes I'm like, I want to watch other people's stuff. So anyways, he is really into, even though they're Christians, he's very attached to that history, right? His father is Japanese, so he's half Japanese, obviously, and he has his grandmother that he absolutely loves, and his grandmother was known to like make food and take care of the whole community. And I can share you a link. Like when I make a video on YouTube, I'll share you the whole link. It's hard to share links on Instagram. So anyways, he's really into, I think the arrangement, long story short, I think the arrangement aspect of it comes from his Japanese history or his heritage, because it's not uncommon in Japanese culture that like parents arrange marriages with their kids. And so I think this betrothal comes from his Japanese heritage, but they converted to Christianity because the family became friends with a reverend who was Christian, and they gave up Buddhism, and then his grandmother became very active in the Christian church. So he has a very strong connection to his grandma, who was in an arranged marriage, and I think that's kind of where this all comes from. So anyways, what I'm told about this arrangement specifically, so I guess that whole backstory is to sort of say to you guys that it has to do, I think some of this comes from like the dad's heritage. So anyways, the woman from the mom's side, or from Katie's side, basically says that Corey and Jim somehow arranged this, and it's a financially driven fundamentalism royalty type wedding. Corey and his family are wealthy. They have a lot of money. Jim Bob obviously is wealthy, and there's a financial incentive here. Now, why would Jed get arranged?
Did she really just tell this entire story just to express how close he might be with his grandmother because of an arranged marriage? Really? I don't know. That maybe I'm missing something, but that's kind of where it sounded like she landed on all of this at the end there. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Theory, and nobody has confirmed this, so obviously this is my speculation here, is that Jed has political aspirations, and he recently ran for office and lost. And I think part of the reason he lost not only was because of his age, but was because he lacked real life experience. And so my guess is Jim Bob wants to get him married. He lost his political kid with Josh, right? So his next option now for the Duggar empire in politics is Jed. And in order for Jed to do that, they got to get Jed married. So why was the whole, he wasn't married. Exactly. Like it looks better from a political perspective for him to get married. And then by the next time he runs, he can be married. He could have a kid, this thing, right? So anyways, you love me. Thank you. So anyways, why was that arrangement why was the video so weird?
I want to know who the fuck said that. I want to know who the fuck just told her that they loved her. Like seriously, for this. I mean, unless they're like thrilled that maybe she's getting to the end of it. I don't know.
Okay, so how betrothals work. And this is what, now on the flip side, my fundy friend, they're so sweet. I love the fundy friends that like, and can I tell you guys secrets? There's fundies that send me all kinds of messages and they're like on the verge of leaving the fundy world, but they're friends with the Duggars and they watch this content because they are like starting to reevaluate how they think about things. And so like they told me tonight that they're sort of like starting to realize a lot of the things that they've been learning their whole life are really effed up. And I was like, this is working. Like, so I want to create a space where people that are considering leaving, like, that's why I try not to be super snarky and rude, because I want to be kind to the people that might, you know, leave an open door policy. You know what I mean? So anyways, what this person told to me today was this. It's a fundy snitch. So anyways, on Reddit, they're all like, who are these people that are coming forward? I'll tell y'all, it's fundy snitches. The fundies are snitching. Okay. So anyways, here's what's happening. So they said, you know what? I was watching a bunch of your videos and I watched the engagement video. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, that's a betrothal. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, that's a betrothal. And I was like, okay. So basically what a betrothal is it matches exactly what the person on Katie's side told me. And it was this, that on Katie's side, they said it was an arrangement. Well, a betrothal is an arranged marriage, and at the engagement, so they've already decided that they're going to be together, right? The parents have arranged it, which is why everything looks so weird and formal, right? Like they walked in, it was so like, it looked like clinical to me. Like they're just walking down and they're like, we're going to go sit down and I'm going to just get down on one knee and there's not going to be any tears. And then I'm going to say yes. And then we're going to go like, and then we're going to do a weird side hug where we look like we have zero chemistry and we don't even really know each other. Anyways, so basically what the fundy told me was that in a betrothal, the parents set the rules and it's like no touching. It's an arrangement. The parents arrange you. You are at the betrothal ceremony. You are not allowed to announce you're even in a relationship until the engagement. And then the engagement is actually a commitment ceremony. So the commitment ceremony is where they actually say vows to each other. And so that's what you heard in those things. Those weren't purity vows. Those were a vow of betrothal. So they're vowing to commit to one another to their union. No touching until the wedding night. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. The reason why we did not hear about Lauren Caldwell and Titus Hall is because that was a betrothal too, but it didn't work out in the long run. Oh God, and I've got some tea about Paul Caldwell and Jim Bob Duggar. They do not like each other. You guys, there's so much tea. I guess Paul and Jim do not like each other, and there was a huge blow up at their church last year. Okay, so anyways, the side hug was like just an awkward side hug. Anyways, so yeah, they don't spill. Oh, there's so much. There's so much. I don't even know where to start. It's all over the place. I know, there's so much. Thank you to all of my fundy sources. And to any of you that are watching, just know that my DMs are always open. I am respectful. I am kind. I am loving to every single person. I have so many people I talk to that I don't agree with politically. I don't agree with spiritually, but we can still be kind to each other. And at the end of the day, like, I feel like you cannot have growth and help.
She's so kind. She's so respectful. Just don't expect, your DMs or whatever to remain private. And if you say off the record, I mean, just don't expect it to land with her. Who the hell? I don't, knowing what they know about her, who would really go out of their way to be a source for her? I mean,
people leave a fundamentalist mindset if you're rude to them and mean to them. All right. So let me finish out on the Jed tea, and then we'll get to the Jim Bob tea. So here's so here is the, so that was a commitment ceremony, basically. And I don't know if you noticed this, but in her vows, people were all like, oh, that's so sweet. No, she basically vowed to Jed that she would view him the way that Christ views the church. And she said the way that, like, as the church prepares for Christ, basically being like the church serves Christ, she said that she would be looking to Jed as her leader. So she is committing to submission. I encourage you guys to re-listen to her vows, and you will literally hear her commit to basically saying, like, I'll let you own me. And he basically says, like, I will own you. It's so creepy and weird, but that's the betrothal way. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Okay. So anyways, that's why they looked awkward and weird, and that's why it looked like a clinical engagement. So long story short, owning is not love. It's not. So you guys, can I just talk to you guys about something? It's not sweet to pledge to your person that they can own you. That's not sweet. There's nothing sweet about that. There's nothing sweet about you having to, like, worship your husband. You're basically telling your husband, you are my God. That's gross. This is definitely submission ownership. Beauty lush babe. Please find help if you believe that it's not. And nobody should be submissive to anyone, period. In this cult, women have no rights. Okay, now let's get on to Jim Bob and Paul. Apparently, Jim Bob and Paul don't get along. And I guess the Duggars left Paul's church last year. I'm still trying to figure out why. But there was this huge dust up, and it had to do with the nursery, who was going to run the nursery. And I guess Jim Bob and Paul pretend like they're friends for, like, the wider public, but their personalities completely clash. And Jim Bob was letting Paul live in his house for free for years. Paul Caldwell, Kendra Caldwell's dad. And now, I know, so Jim was letting Paul live in his house for free. Paul was working for Jim, but not paying.
Thank you for becoming a member of that Amber Chick. Awesome.
Paul what he should have been being paid. And then they have this dust up at church, and the Duggars leave Paul's church, and the Duggars' friends all go with them. And now Paul's church only has like 30 people that are at the church, and some of the Duggars are going back, but a lot of them are still not there. And Paul and Jim.
So someone just asked, Sherry just asked, how much longer does this go on, for crying out loud? Well, it's like 58 minutes and something seconds total. And we are at the 33-minute mark. Well, 34-minute mark almost. So about, like, I don't even know, 25 minutes maybe, something like that. I can't really do math. But yeah, we still have a while. But I think it's supposed to get better.
Are trying to, like, cordially, like, reconnect their relationship, but I guess now Paul and mind you, Paul's wife Christina is pregnant with her 9th child. He has not paid rent on his own house, I guess, in years, and now he's living in the house that is supposed to be Kendra and Joe's house. So Kendra and Joe got a house, I guess, from, like, Jim Bob. And they, like, sacrificed that house, and Kendra and Joe are letting their parents live there. And I guess They're living there for free. So long story short, Paul Caldwell and Christina Caldwell don't like to pay rent, or they like don't have the money to buy their own house, or they don't have enough money to like pay for their own stuff, allegedly. And they don't even have money to like build a house. And Kendra and Joe are letting them live in their house, I guess. And I guess for a while, Kendra and Joe were barely on speaking terms with Jim Bob and Michelle because of the fight between Paul and Jim. Oh, I love you guys. I know. I'm like, Paul, put on a condom. You can't clearly afford your family. Stop having kids. So I guess Jim Bob and Paul got into a fight last year, allegedly. And Paul had been living in Jim Bob's house for free for years. And then suddenly Jim Bob wanted to make him pay rent. No, not the log house. Are they in the log house? I don't even know. I need a bigger glass. So apparently Joe and Kendra were not really even.
I think. Where'd it go? Laughter Life. I think you're saying that you have to step away from chat. Can you ask pretty please, like you have, and continue reading the questions you've been responding to? Because it says ready the questions. It took me a second, but I think you mean reading. But yes, absolutely. I try to do that always, and I'm sorry if I don't, but I will definitely make a point to keep doing that.
On speaking terms with the Duggars for like a whole like while the Paul and Jim Bob were fighting. So the Caldwells did have to move. Yes. No, so Kendra and Joe built a house and the Caldwells live in it. They don't even live in the house they built. They gave it to their parents. And then once the parents can afford to buy their own house, Kendra and Joe can have the house again. Can you imagine your dad is so broke? You're like, dude, you can live in my house. And I don't know why I'm still trying to figure out why Jim Bob and Paul don't like each other. I guess their personalities clash because they're both kind of narcissists. I'm going to do a video on all of this. There's so much. The house, yes. So it was really awkward too because the house is on the Duggars' property. So Kendra, Joe, and the parents were like all living on the property, and it was super awkward because they weren't on speaking terms, I guess. I love fundies that spill, man. I don't know. I'll have to ask them. The person I talk to is friends with all of these people. I know. When they were telling me this, you guys, I was like, dude, Paul Caldwell needs to wear a damn condom and stop getting Christina pregnant if he can't afford a house. Picturing Kendra. Okay. So then I said, so here's some more tea. Okay. So Kendra was dating Jed Duggar. Did you know that? So Kendra and Jed were like dating for a while. And they split. But I guess Jed also was like, Joe was into Kendra at the same time. So when it fell apart, he swooped in and got Kendra, right? So Kendra and Joe got together after Jed and Kendra had been courting. And they got married. Can you imagine taking your siblings like scraps? Like, it didn't work out, you can have her. But I'm actually told that, so this is what I said to him. I was like, oh, but that's probably better for Kendra because Jed looks like kind of a prick. Like, Jed seems like arrogant to me. He does. He comes off as super arrogant to me. And they're like, yeah, he's kind of an arrogant jerk. And I was like, see, I told you. Joe is apparently really, really nice, like a really nice guy. And I said, you know who else seems really nice is John David. And they said, John David is awesome. And I was like, I knew it. I knew John David was a good guy. I knew it. I know everyone's lost. There's so much tea spilling right now. I think Joe's an upgrade too. So Joe is actually a pretty nice guy. He's also really thoughtful and like just laid back, easygoing. John is apparently really, really nice. I guess.
Stina Marie asked if well, even if I don't find it, I know would. Okay. Does anyone know if Katie has said anything about the shootings in Georgia? Seems like she loves to cover a tragedy. I don't think she has, because honestly, I haven't even heard about the shootings in Georgia until I read your comment, and pretty much, I don't know. I've been working a lot the past couple of days, but when I am online, it's trying to catch up with all the crap around Katie or whatever. So if Katie hasn't mentioned it, I haven't heard about it. So if I haven't heard about it, Katie hasn't mentioned it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think she's mentioned anything about it. Little Red, what is she talking about? Do you mean what is like the shootings? What is she talking about there? Because from what I just looked it up, when I read her question, I looked it up real quick because I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. There were spa shootings in Atlanta. There's 8 dead, and it's, from what I'm gathering, it's all everyone who's dead. Well, most of them, anyways, were Asian women. It looks like, from the sounds of it, that's who he was targeting. I haven't even opened up anything and read it though. Yeah, I've only read like the headlines and whatnot. No, I was talking about KJ. What the fuck is she about? I don't know. I don't know. I read Steve Marie's comment there, and I stopped listening to Katie there for a few minutes. Suddenly, I felt like more wide awake too. It was crazy. But thank you though for telling me, for mentioning it though, Stina Marie. I can't believe I haven't heard about it. So thank you for letting me know. Anyways, I feel like a spy right now. Yeah. Maybe not in Atlanta though, but it's crazy. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with the live here, I'm gonna read about it and see what the hell happened. Made the news here in Australia. Oh, wow. The killer said he's got a sex addiction and oh, all right. Okay, that's all right. I do think Katie shared something about that the other day. Because what I just read now, I read like that in a tweet. I think either it was her tweet or something, a tweet that she shared, or retweeted, whatever. But like that was it. That's the only thing that she posted or whatever about it. Aaron, I just watched your video from 4 months ago, and KJ was talking about how where the hospital they were at was surrounded by Chinese, and was insinuating that she will catch it from them because she said that the hospital that she had been at with her son early in the year, whatever, had a big among I don't know, like group of what's what I'm looking for? I can't think now. A bunch of people though who lived around the hospital were Hmong heritage, I guess would be the word. And because since like they're known to be, I guess, like near China, or they're known to be like within like the I guess like the Asian countries or whatever around there, that she just assumed that COVID would be there. Yeah, I thought that was nice. Crazy. The shooter may have said it was racially motivated, which I don't buy, but women, which is not. Yeah, I'm not sure if the race was really his motivating factor. I think maybe race it might have had something to do with it, but I think it was more about the gender. I think he was just targeting women more or less. But again, I'm just going by headlines. I haven't read anything yet, so really, what the hell do I know? I probably shouldn't even comment. Although, Rebecca, I would go out on a limb though and say that you're probably right. But he's allegedly an incel. But okay, I'm going to go back to this so we can hopefully just get done with it. We have a large Hmong population here. Do you live in Minnesota, Daddy? Okay. Wisconsin. Oh, okay. No, Minnesota, Wisconsin. They're kind of right next to each other, right? I've been to Wisconsin. Madison is like one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. Just the buildings and everything. Just, oh my God, I fell in love with it.
Josiah is like really hard to handle. And there's lots of rumors about Josiah being not into women. So there's that. And then I hate speculating on that kind of stuff, but it keeps coming up with people I talk to. And then, let's see. Jason is apparently courting someone, but Justin's kind of a jerk, and so is Jason. And apparently Joanna is super stuck up, according to the source. Jill is really sweet. We already knew that. Oddly, Jessa is nice. Shocking. James is getting better. So apparently the younger Duggar boys are kind of snooty and stuck up. And if you think about it, they started getting famous when some of those littles were like babies, like toddlers. So they've grown up kind of like different than their older siblings. So I guess like James and Justin and Jason and Jackson, I guess they're kind of like jerky, I guess, apparently, and cocky and just full of themselves, apparently. So the only thing they said about Jana was for the longest time, they started to believe the rumors that Jana was dating Laura because nothing made sense about her. But they say Jana's nice. But they also said that Jana doesn't do as much around the house as you think she does. So there's these long rumors that they say that Jana like takes care of the kids, and they said that that's absolutely not true. They said that she doesn't do the schooling. That's on Michelle. She said that they said that Jana's gone most of the time, doing her own thing with friends. She's not around the house very much. So this idea that Jana's holding the house together is apparently not true. She's rarely around, from what I'm told. But I guess, like, even people in the circles were, like, convinced that Jana was just not into girls or into guys, and that's why it's been going on for all this time. But anyways, Jana is now dating someone, that Stephen guy. So Jana is not staying for the kids. That's not a thing. And apparently, do you want to hear why Josh and Anna moved out of their house? I guess it had black mold. That's the story they told people. So they owned a house after Josh got out of rehab, and they had to get rid of the house because it apparently had black mold. And then they sold the house. So apparently, they're now living on the property of like the Duggars, and even friends can't figure out why Josh hasn't left the property. Yeah, they had black mold, allegedly. But the thing I think is weird is that the black mold I know. How did they sell it if it had black mold? So maybe they told people that it had black mold and then they like, but anyways, I I think that's the story that they told people. I think they told people that it had black mold. I think that the raid happened at the lot, which they've not really told nobody, or like people in the Duggarland, like they've kept that really hush hush. Like nobody still to this day knows what that raid was about. They just know that Josh's property or his lot is now closed and that Josh just doesn't really have a job anymore and he just lives on the she shed with his wife. So basically, they do the raid back in 2019. And then shortly after that, Josh dumps like all of his assets and he sells his house and he gets rid of like his car lot and everything is gone. So it seems like, in a way, like they're trying to limit their financial stuff. You know what I mean? In the event that there's something that might happen. That's just my thought. That's, again, my speculation. That's my guess. Like, why else would you, after a raid, move back into mom and dad's house and get rid of all of your assets and all that kind of thing?
Renelle Smith. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Forgive my ignorance of her, forgive my ignorance, but isn't her husband sober? Why does she still have alcohol in the house and drink around him? She actually mentioned this not too long ago. I can't remember what video it was, but it was actually like a live she did like just last week, I think. She explained how she and her husband allegedly talked about this, and for I guess for a while she didn't have any alcohol in the house, but then just because she doesn't have a drinking problem, you know, she could take it or leave it. She just has a glass of wine here and there, that's it, or whatever. And he really doesn't have an issue with drinking or whatever anymore. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, he's not like white knuckling it, basically, you know, he can just not drink and, you know, whatever, that's what he does. So it's not a big deal, I guess, for them to have alcohol in the house. But yeah, I wondered that the same thing too, especially because not so much just for him, because she has, to my knowledge that I know of, there's 2 different blog posts that she had written. I think one was in like 2018, one was in 2019, where she explains how she and her husband I think one of them was she was on the verge of becoming an alcoholic, and then the other one, it was she and her husband were on the verge of becoming an alcoholic. And even if just one of them is true, let's just, whatever, for the sake of argument's sake, let's just say one of them's true. Why do either of them have booze in the house or whatever? I mean, why would you just tempt it? You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
And like not have a job. Yeah, well, he has to start over. I don't know. People around them can't even explain why Josh and Anna are still there. I think it's weird. This is the best life ever. Will this be streamable later? I don't know. Should I like download this and put this on YouTube? No, on YouTube it will be so confusing. He doesn't have to start over. Free Anna. I know, free Anna. I don't know. Long story short, what do I think of Josh? Is that even really a question? Okay. I'm here tonight. I'm confused about the Caldwell's living arrangement, right? Like, how is it possible? Maybe I will download this and put it on YouTube and you guys can just like sort through it. Although my YouTuber people will be like, you guys, they'll get so mad at me. So much Duggar tea. Okay. Anyways, Paul Caldwell and Jim Bob don't get along, apparently. There was a fight at the church over the nursery and some other things. Joe and Joe and his dad didn't talk to each other for a while. Josh is freeloading off the family. And Joe is dating Jed's leftovers. And Jed is arranged to be married. Jana's dating. Jeremiah's dating. Jason's dating. And nobody knows about it. No, the church wouldn't provide Paul a house because Paul is the church. I'm like sitting there talking to this person and I'm like, how does Paul Caldwell, who is like 40 years old, how can he not afford a damn house for his kids? How does he not afford a house for his kids? They are a soap opera. It's true. I don't know much about Ginger, honestly. They don't. All I know about Ginger and Jeremy is that Jeremy doesn't come home to Arkansas like ever. So they only see Jeremy's only around if there's like a wedding. Otherwise, he does not visit the Duggars. So he's only there like for special events. Otherwise, Ginger goes there alone. And it's just assumed that Jeremy and Jim Bob just do not get along. I'm starting to realize that a lot of people don't get along with Jim Bob Duggar. Jeremy's parents live in Pennsylvania. But I'm starting to think that them talking about California all the time is that they might be leaving California. And Duggar, a snarker on Duggar made a snarker on Reddit made really good sense with this, is that they might be talking about California so much on their Reddits or on their Instagram stuff because right before they left Laredo, they did like a bunch of Laredo posts like this, and he is going to be done with his seminary stuff in May, I think. And I don't think they're going to stay in California because I believe they're staying at a house that's paid for by the school. So I think they're going to have to move out of California. Lauren Caldwell is 1,000% not dating any of the Duggars. That's what I was told. Specifically. That's like how this relationship all started, was the person reached out to me and said like, Lauren Caldwell is not with a Duggar. Duggar snark. I can't decide. Duggar snark sometimes likes me and most of the time they hate me. But they think I'm lying and they think I take things from their threads. But if I find something on there, I don't really go on there very frequently. Sometimes I check if I don't have time to check on all of the different people, because they do a really good job of like posting literally every single person on the Duggars, and I can just look there all in one swoop. Like I can see like their Instagrams and stuff, but they think that I take their like scoops from them, and that's just not true. I literally have people I talk to. Yes, Amy King's NDA is for life. Yeah, they literally hate me. They think I make everything up and I use their subreddit for everything. But I noticed they're starting to take me a little bit more seriously now. So I promise you, Reddit, I'm not making this stuff up. I literally have people that like are connected to all of these people. I have too much on the hand, and I like literally just got through a lawsuit. Like, you don't, in this line of work, like when you're an independent blogger, there's too much on the line to like make shit up. I can't show you guys proof of a source, but I showed you guys the invitation, and he really is getting married. It was true. Like that came from that source. So I don't know how much more proof you need. Like, these people are connected to them. You never like would tell a magazine to show you their proof. You don't out a source. You keep people's privacy because they don't want to be outed. They'll give you
Yep, but what real reporters or media outlets do, whether it's magazine or newspaper, they will have their anonymous sources or their whatever their private sources or whatever, and they will take the information, the tips or whatever that their sources give them, and knowing that they can't out their sources, but they will then corroborate the tip. They will look for other ways in which to prove this is true, and then that's what they will show or reveal in their writings. They don't just take the information and put nothing behind it whatsoever and say, "Hey, just someone told me this, so you should believe it." No, they still have to offer some sort of backing to their claims. They just look for other ways in which to back it rather than outing their source. I mean, it's Jesus Christ.
information, but they don't want to be identified because that puts them. How do I vet my sources? It's extensive. I have to verify that they actually know them. I have to verify through a variety of different methods. But yeah, like in this specific case, I have documented pictures of them with them, and they follow them and they follow them back. And they've been around them for years. I guess Jessa's house is like really in a bad spot too. It's like right by the freeway. And it's like so small. It's like in a really, like, Ben has a job now, sort of, but I guess he doesn't make very much money. I can't tell you guys why Amy is in this NDA. Like, I can't say anything. All I can say is there's a People article. So here's the Amy stuff. How do the Duggars not find out who the source is? Because do you know how many friends the Duggars have? There's a lot. They have a lot of fundamentalist friends that are around them constantly because of their church. So they have so many close friends. They have so many friends. Anyways, who asked the question? Oh, the NDA. There is a People article from when, think of it this way. I do give Duggar Snark credit whenever they take.
Amber Aldo, it's almost over. I mean, your soul won't be tortured for much longer. I promise you, it is almost over. There's like 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes tops left.
Stuff whenever I see stuff on there. The problem is they think that I see the same things that they do. So we all see the same things. We're all looking on the same Instagrams. I also know how to sleuth. So they'll be like, well, we sleuth this. And I'm like, well, I check the same stuff you do. It's not like that. It's not rocket science to like sleuth. Okay. So anyways, the NDA comes from after Josh Duggar was outed for the assault of the girls and the Ashley Madison stuff. There's an article from People. You can go read it, or it's on In Touch. She wrote a blog about it. But she wrote a blog, and she found out with the world about what Josh did to his sisters. And she also found out with the world what he was doing on Ashley Madison and how he was cheating on women. So if she found out with the world, that means her uncle and her aunt did not tell her mother that her nephew had assaulted her nieces, and Dina allowed Amy to be on the show not knowing that Josh had assaulted his sisters. And no, Amy was not a victim. Amy was not a victim. She was not the babysitter. She was never a victim of Josh. So she told people she found out with everyone else. How do you get out of a contract? Or like, she was on the show, she wasn't being paid, but she still has a contract with the network. Lauren is just shy and awkward in general. She was never, and she was not. It's both the same. She was not a victim of Josh, and she was never a victim of Josh. It's literally the same thing. Amy was not assaulted by Josh, ever. Amy would beat him up, for sure. They did put Amy in danger. They had to sign NDAs to get out of their stuff at TLC. They had to. They were not going to film anymore after what happened. After Jim lied to them, they were done. Amy is older than Josh. Like by 2 years, I think. I don't know anything about Amy, and no, the kids are not paid at all. It does make sense. If you know anything about TLC, it 1,000 million % makes sense. And then Jim Bob is his own business. And so anytime someone has a business and it's a family business, if you are part of that family business, that owner of the family business can say, you can't talk about me or I'll sue you. No, the minors, nobody's being paid. The kids are not being paid. No one gets money. You guys, my IG is going to stop now. I'm at the limit. It's telling me that it's going to end, so I got to go.
Instagram's awesome for that. Thank you for becoming a member, Kimberly, Mother of Rats. Awesome. A vintage Katie would be cool to see the difference between that and what would be old vintage Katie? I can go back to playing the video that I was playing. It's basically the one where she cries and like kind of sad fishes. It's from, I think, January. Was it from? Where to go? I hate it when nothing loads there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, January 31st. Okay, yeah, she I don't has anyone ever really seen her cry though, Little Red? I mean, I know we've all seen her like try to cry, maybe when like pretend to cry. Maybe has anyone really seen her cry though? But either way, this video though, she does definitely try to pretend to cry. Oh, shoot, is that what I want? You know, so annoying. It was right there. Why isn't it ever right where I want it to be? Ugh. I have to assign color things so I can find it. There we go.
Hi guys. How are you? How is everyone? Oh, I accidentally knocked a button when I hit one of your comments, Rebecca. You said, "Hey guys," and I accidentally somehow bumped this thing and indirectly hid you by accident. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. But anyways, hi guys, welcome.
Bye, name edited. Have a good night at work.
I made a mistake on my hit a button. Welcome. I don't have a lot of time. This is obviously my second channel, and I've been debating about if I'll do this on my other channel or not, but I wanted to just start it here because it's been a really stressful week, and obviously there's been a lot going on in my personal life, which I cannot talk about, and it's been really hard because I have always been a really open person with you guys.
Jesper asks, how come slow-mo doesn't affect members? Sorry, just a random question. No, please. I didn't know that it didn't. This is the first I've learned about that. Interesting. I have no idea.
And I've always told you guys what's going on in my life. And it's been really hard not to want to scream from the rooftops about things that I know that I can't tell you guys and things that are going on that I can't share. And it's been hard because you know who you are and you just kind of watch people talk about you. And it's this weird place where you have a lot of people with a lot of eyes on you. And it's not anything I've ever been used to. And I've never had this amount of eyeballs on me in my entire career. And it's at times been very overwhelming, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job of managing everything and trying to stay focused and motivated and making sure that I'm putting out content. And even though there's times where I feel really down and really depressed, not depressed, just really overwhelmed and really the weight of the world is on my shoulders, or everyone hates me. That's a really hard place to be in when you are dealing with anything, it's hard when you feel like everyone hates you. And it's hard when you feel like you're put in a corner where everyone hates you. And no matter what you say or do, they hate you. You could be really happy about something and really excited about something and they still hate you. And you could just want to share your happiness and they still hate you, and then.
Thank you for becoming a member, Christy Adams. And Mama Bear, thank you for the super chat. This is the first live I've been able to make. You're awesome. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you. You're awesome. I'm not awesome. I'm so glad, though, to have all these new people here who haven't been here before. That's awesome. I know I've been trying to do different times and everything for lives and everything just to give everyone a chance to show up. But it doesn't always work out that way.
It gets really overwhelming because you feel like nothing I say matters because they're going to hate me anyways. And all you want is a chance for you to be seen, and all you want is a chance for you to be heard, and all you want is to scream what you know and you can't. So I know this is all super vague, but I just wanted to thank those of you that don't hate me and that have been sending me messages. I don't respond to messages. I really haven't been for a few months now. And like, I was just like looking at my inbox and my Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, I have like over 100 messages in there, more than 100 messages in there. And I'm like, oh my goodness. The problem is that I've lost people that I
remember how in the live stream that she just did, or the Q&A live stream that she just did, where she was going off and everything, and where she, you know, talked shit about me and everything. But there was a part though in that live stream though where she said that about the group on Facebook that called the cops on that one woman over free birthing. She was saying how she wasn't a part of the group. She wasn't a part of that group or whatever. Well, I knew that was bullshit. So I went looking in the group that she's talking about, because like she deleted her Facebook account. So like her posts and everything won't still be in there. But I was just looking to see, you know, like if maybe like there's still posts or comments up where people tagged her and shit. And I forgot she was an admin in that group. She, in fact, there was a screenshot that someone posted, because apparently one of the members had, you're not supposed to block the admin, and one of the members had blocked Katie. So someone took a screenshot of Katie, put a post up saying, thanks for the update. Blocking admins is not allowed. Someone please tag so-and-so and tell her to unblock me or she's gone. Thanks. So someone took a screenshot of that and posted it for the person who had her blocked, saying unblock her. So yeah, I just thought that was funny, you know, someone who she had nothing to do with it. She was just there writing a story or whatever. And here she is, you know, telling people to unblock her. Funny.
think weren't even haters, you know, like I feel like people right now just have this idea about me that's not who I am. And I feel like I've just lost people that don't hate me, but they've been wrapped up in things. But, you know, I just want to tell people that I'm really grateful. You know, for all of your support. I want to say that I'm grateful for all of you guys that have, you know, been in my live streams, that have stuck up for me, that have said things in comments, that have sent me messages of support, that have just said that they see me, that they've heard me. And, you know, it feels really ridiculous because you're like, I got to put my glasses on. I've not wanted to be playing like I'm some sort of victim because I don't believe that I am, but I'm stressed.
Where'd it go? Mama Bear, I just found your channel. I've been watching your videos for 3 days. I have a strange schedule, so making live streams are hard, but tomorrow's my own day off, so I'm living it up. Oh, I'm glad to have you here. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, and Eileen, thank you for the super sticker. Oh, shit. Damn it. I was supposed to say it like Katie. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the super sticker. Okay. And she would only say, I didn't. Oh, Camilla. Camilla says, she would only say, I didn't call the police when I said you were part of the group that made the decision to call. She just kept saying she didn't call. Yeah, she was part of the group. She was admin. In fact, now that I'm talking about it, and I remember, I used to think that she actually created the group, but come to find out she didn't create the group, but she was a huge, you know, presence, a huge admin or whatever in that group for a while. In fact, I took a screenshot of a couple other posts or whatever where she was tagged, and apparently she had made a comment where she was like checking out someone's profile in the group, and like other group members are getting on her case and everything, saying, "Why are you stalking someone's profile in here?" I think that might have been when she got kicked out of the group, actually. But crazy. And I don't think that she herself made the call. I don't know who did, but she was definitely a voice, a big voting person or whatever in that decision.
When you're stressed out, it's hard. And then, so you feel like nothing you say is going to satisfy anyone. But I just want to say that even though things have kind of gone or, stalled a little bit, I'm not going to like give up my job and what I do. I can't find my glasses. My eyeballs are like so tight right now. They're tired because I've been staring at a computer all day. But I'm just really grateful for those of you that have been sending me messages and like.
So, Susan Elliott asked, what group is it? The name of the group is called Exposing Free Birth. It's a Facebook group. Harvey Wilf Italian Greyhounds. It's 5:50 a.m. here, and I'm still up watching you. I've not been to sleep yet. Love you. Aw, I'm sorry to keep you up, but I'm glad that you're here watching. I know it's almost 2 a.m. here, but I don't have to go to work until like afternoon tomorrow, so I don't mind. Are you slowing her down or is she drunk? No, I'm not slowing her down. This is the one where she really sad fishes like kind of hard. So she might be talking slowly to get, for dramatic effect. I don't know.
Have been, sending me just kindness and messages that have been supportive, in emails and comments on the channel. And, it's been hard. It's been hard sometimes. It's been hard some days to get up. It's been hard sometimes to get up and go online and know that everyone hates me. It's been hard to wake up and keep going when I feel like everyone just wants me to quit. And I'm not a quitter. Like, that's just not how I roll. I've never been a quitter. I've also never been the kind of person that bends to negativity. I've always been a pretty positive person. And I'm just like grateful that there's been this sliver of people that in the middle of all of this have just persevered and pushed through and have continued to send me kindness. I had someone send me a message on Twitter today, and they didn't even they weren't someone that even particularly liked me, but they sent me like this encouraging comment, like, what's right is right and what's happening right now to you is not. So, things like that. Like, even when people that don't appreciate you can say like, what is happening is not okay. It's like, I don't know, it just made me feel like, oh my gosh, thank you, But yeah, I mean, the trolls are, the trolls are never going to be satisfied. So, yeah, Debbie, I'm sorry. I did get your email, but I'm not responding to really anyone. And I just saw the email, but I hadn't had a chance to read it. And I honestly have not been responding to any messages. So I do want to say that I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I upset you. I'm sorry if it was this person. This is the person that left me a really nice comment. Like, it changed my whole day, honestly, to get that message. It was weird. But I'm sorry that I read your email just like yesterday. And I'm sorry that I upset you. I didn't want to minimize anything that you've gone through. And I'm sorry if you felt hurt or, at all betrayed or just dismissed. So I apologize. Thank you for your nice comment, 3 Stripes, on Twitter. Thank you for also becoming a member. So it hasn't been the best few months, and when I've been under stress, it's been hard to really understand where I'm going, and it's been really hard to not feel like it's really hard sometimes when you have so many people telling you that you suck to not start to feel like you suck, you know? And when everyone starts yelling at you, it's hard not to feel like you are the worst person in the world, because you must be the worst person in the world if everyone thinks that you're the worst person in the world. And then that's hard because you know you're not the worst person in thank you, Preston Fangirl. I'm not, the trolls, honestly, the trolls will be the ones that, I know the trolls' comments. They will say things like, you're a dark energy person, you're a nasty human being, it's your fault that you're being treated this way, you deserve this, it's your fault you suck, you are doing criminal things, I'm not, you are a nasty, horrible human being, I'm not. I've actually learned a lot about trolls in the last month. I've been reading about them online to understand their psychology. And apparently a lot of trolls are psychopaths. I had no idea. A lot of trolls are also sadists. I had no idea. So they get off on hurting people. So I'm not so worried about them. Like, I can tell when people don't want to hear me. And I'm not trying to convince those people, because those people will never be convinced. It's the people that I want to see me that aren't like those people and maybe have been afraid or just don't know how to say anything. And because of these attacks that I've been under, and it's gotten to a point, obviously in the last few weeks, where it's reached a head, and it's been really overwhelming. And, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for being there, for hearing me out, for listening. And I'm sorry if I've been overwhelmed. I'm sorry if I've felt defensive. I'm sorry if I've felt alone. I've never felt more alone in my life than I do right now. I've never felt more beat down than I do right now. I've never felt more just destroyed, and it's not easy. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't even know why I'm crying. It's been a really raw, really bad few weeks, and it's hard sometimes to get up on camera all the time and put on a happy face, and feel good about what you're doing, and feel like you're contributing something positive, and it's hard when you have always gotten such joy out of your job, and you feel like your job has made people hate you, and you have no control over it, and all you want is for someone to stick their neck out and be like, it's enough, it's enough. I'm a quiet watcher of yours, and I've been for a while, even your lives. I never comment, but I want to lend support today. Thank you so much, Casey. It's just been a lot, and I always just try to put my best foot forward, and I always think about how I got through my son almost passing away, and so I think these last few months, I just think oh my God, oh my God, just thank you. If I can get through what my son, if I can get through almost losing my child, I can get through anything, if I can get through the darkest moment of my life by my child surviving and getting through some of the hardest surgeries with him and fighting so hard for him. Like, I do realize that that ends up, like forming who you are. And so, when people are always like, well, how do you keep going? Like, how do you keep doing it? And I just think like, I can't stop. Like, I have to keep going because I've made a commitment to my family. I've made a commitment to my son. My husband was laid off. So really, this is our only source of income right now. And I have to keep going. It's hard when you feel like everyone hates you to keep going, but you have to keep going. And thank you for your super sticker. I'm not trying to play the victim here at all. I'm actually just really overwhelmed more than anything. I'm not playing like it's not like I'm sitting here trying to like make you feel sorry for me. That's really not it. It's just, I wanted to say thank you because this has been literally one of the hardest times of my life. And I have learned so much. You have no idea how much I've learned. I have learned so much about the legal system. I have learned so much about researching. I have learned so much about my tenacity, and I've learned so much about just the will to like get through things. I've learned so much about like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I can't wait to tell you guys. And one day I'll be able to tell you everything. I just can't wait for that day. Like it like kills me that I have to like hold things inside. And it's hard when you know things and you can't share them, and it's just overwhelming, and oh, my son. Thank you, Darby, for your super chat. Lean on us. We are here for you. Your lives getting through a rough time in my life. I'm forever grateful to reach out. You're a very special mom and a very genuine person. You're in my prayers. Thank you. I just like, I wouldn't wish what's happening right now to me, to anyone else. I would not wish this on anyone. But I also know that like this could happen to anyone, and it does happen to anyone. And so like, it's just another thing you have to get through in life. But I've never been in such a position where so many people want to tear me down and don't even want to hear what I have to say and just want to make me guilty before I'm ever even, like, everything is under the preponderance of guilt or accusations that.
See you cry, you get money. You need to cry more. See, reading that, I just want to laugh. I don't know.
Become allegations that become facts to people, and it's things that I haven't even done, and it's things I would never support, and behaviors I would never be okay with, and anyone that knows me would know that.
Yeah, Harvey, I caught that too when I listened to this originally. I did a entitlement translator video to her video here, and I almost put in a part mentioning that. But I then I listened to it again. I'm like, well, I don't know. I feel like people could take what she said and go either way with it. So I just kind of decided against it. But yeah, that's what I thought. The very first time I heard, I'm like, wait a minute. So the hardest time of her life was her kid surviving? What the hell, did I hear that right? Hey, Kelly Household.
I think no matter how people feel, no one can take how strong you've been through your son's medical issues to what's going on now. It says a lot. Many wouldn't have made it through, and you have. Yeah. So honestly, I'm just, I'm grateful. And I think people have thought like I've not been taking things seriously because I don't show it, or I don't express it, or I don't share how I'm feeling, or I don't show you my anxiety or my frustration. Trust me, like the 5 pounds, I think, or 7 pounds I've gained in the last 3 months is an indication that I am trying to manage as best as I can. And I've never eaten more M&Ms in my entire life. So there's that. Mob mentality and the really sadistic trolls feeding false info or misunderstandings to people with good intentions who believe it until it becomes fact. And it's so painful to watch. It's painful to watch people like lob allegations at you that are just so factually wrong. And that even if you say that it isn't true, they don't believe you. And then they gaslight you and they make you think like you're the one that's breaking down because you're acting emotional or you are defending yourself. And so then you're acting erratic. And I've been really like just patient and trying to like stay focused. And I feel like I know it'll eventually turn around. I'm just sort of been like waiting for the bottom. And I feel like that bottom was like this week. And I'm like, this can't get any worse than what I've gone through this week. It's been horrible. And just the emails I've received are so terrible. And like, none of you would deserve this. I would never want anyone to go through this. I would never want to put anyone through this. And I would never want anyone to read the things that have been written to me. And I just hope that you guys remember that when you are watching people on a channel, that we are human and that you may not like us and your emotions might get so high and heightened, but we are still humans and we still read these words. And it's really hard to hear things like you should die, over and over and over again. Or you should just go kill yourself. Or, it gets overwhelming. And it's like,
where is it? Sassy Naz? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm scrolling back now to see like who's like talking down to you, and you're totally wanted here. I mean, I'm sorry if you got a different impression, but I want you here. I see someone told you or said be kind or whatever to one of your comments, which, I mean, your comment was fine. I don't, whatever. Where'd it go? Yeah, Justice Janny said, please be kind or whatever. I don't know what that was in reference to. I'm trying to see. But, I mean, I'm trying to see too, like, where anyone else, like, kind of spoke at you. If there's something I'm missing, please point it out to me. I can't, it's hard to see everything in the chat. But Sassy Nuts, you're fine. I mean, I don't think you're at all being a bully or whatever. We're joking around, dude. I mean, I want people to joke around. I want people to feel like they can joke around. And I mean, and Justice Jen, I mean, she has every right too to ask people to be nice or whatever. But I mean, if you don't want to be nice, you don't have. I mean, if you don't want to listen, you don't have to. Whatever. I mean, just. I'm saying I can tell that she's just like, hey guys, let's be nice talking about Katie or whatever. And she has every right to ask that if she wants, and we can ignore the request too if we want. So, but you're cool. You're cool, Sassy Naz. I wouldn't worry about it. See, shit keeps. I start reading something and then it jumps away. Yeah. I don't think she said anything wrong either, Nikki. I mean, Sassy Naz, you're fine. All right, I'm going back.
For what? What did I do? I didn't do anything, So thank you, Bree. Thank you, Steph. Oh, yeah, the membership link. Jesse, can you drop the membership link? Thank you. Hey, Jessica. Don't be. It's fine, Janet. The mob phenomenon is just very scary. Having been on the other end of cancel culture, I want to just say, like, this is the worst experience that anyone can go through. And while sometimes I think it's justified and there's actions that truly do warrant the troll-like behavior and the canceling, there are just other times that the mob gets so vicious and it just gets so overwhelming. And it's so easy. Like, a lie spreads so much faster than the truth, and a truth can take forever to come out. But it's
for anyone just coming in. Yeah, this is an older live. This was from January 31st of this year. So she's not live. She did a live earlier on Instagram, and we already watched it. And I think we're all a little like traumatized by just like how incredibly dull and boring it was. So we may not want to talk about it. I don't know. But yeah, it's still up on Instagram last I've seen. But yeah, this one's from January 31st.
The lie that goes further, and so you always just have to like remember that. Like, it's hard, and I'm not a patient person all the time, so like when I hear the lies, I'm like, I just want to scream and I want to yell, and I can't respond. And I just want to like show people why I feel the way that I do, and I can't. And I want to show everyone everything, but I can't. And I would have thought by now that some of these creators that are doing this to me would have realized that like they too could be on the other end of this at any time. And it's like some of them are just taking joy in it's funny because a lot of these same creators will say like trauma isn't tea, but like they are getting off on my trauma. They are making videos on my trauma and then coming onto my channel and saying, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that because that's traumatic, but yet they have no problem traumatizing me. And I don't care if people say anything about me, like I honestly don't, but it's like, I just want to wave a...
Scorpion says, I know this one is older, but someone said she was live again, as in right now. I don't know. Is she? I'm going to go back to playing this, but I'll check it out.
White flag and ask people to please be kinder. Please remember that I'm a human. Please stop associating blame to everything I do. Please remember that nothing you are hearing right now is fact or proven. Thank you, Kiki, for becoming a member. Thank you, Rebecca, for the super sticker. It's funny because Joe was someone that really made a lot of nasty videos about me for a very long time. And after like a year of doing it, she said to me, I was wrong about you. You're not even like that. You're not even this person that I made you out to be. Like, you're not like that at all. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, when people get to know me, I'm actually really, I'm not, thank you, Connie. Thank you, Kristen. They don't understand. They can be on the other end of this at any time. As my aunt says, don't spit up in the air. Yeah, like Joe says, I bullied you. Simple. Yeah, like Joe has admitted and acknowledged that like she had no place and no business to do it. And she had no reason to, and she just did it because she got stuck in the mob, you know? And it's like, do I trust Joe? No, but she has shown me a lot over the last, you know, several months that she has stuck to her word of not dragging me and, you know, trying to come to me when there's issues. And that's the other thing that frustrates me is like on YouTube, we're supposed to be a community. And if we have problems with each other, we're supposed to go to one another and we're supposed to be able to work things out. And it's scary because I'm in a position now, if I want to even ask a creator, like say, like I did see a video that wasn't like accurate, I would be too scared now to even talk to them about it because I would be afraid that if I said something to them, they would use that in a video. I'm afraid to speak to my subscribers because I feel like I'm constantly being set up. People are trying to frame me for crimes. It's scary, you know, it's really scary. And there's nothing more terrifying than when you literally have people literally trying to frame you for crimes and you are knowing no, you didn't do it. And it's like, no one believes you. And people think that you are this evil, vindictive person. And it's like, I had no part of this. This is not my doing. And I wish that I could just like these creators that are getting so many clicks and views off of this would just realize that I'm a human being and that at some point this just constant stabbing at me, it needs to like either stop or like if you truly cared, maybe you would want to get to know me, that I'm not a horrible person. I'm not. Have there been times that I've been confrontational and on edge? Yeah, it's been a hard 4 months. Like imagine having 9 million eyes on you and feeling like everyone hates you. And then if you even try to approach someone to set the record straight, they just flip it on you and they turn your what you said into something negative and they make 7 videos on it.
Carrie Santo asks, didn't she accuse Steve McRae of harassment when it wasn't the case? That would be correct. Yeah, it started off as sexual harassment, and then it morphed into he made me uncomfortable. He spoke in like in a sexual nature or whatever around me or something like that. And then it eventually morphed into he said the word penis like within earshot of her, like allegedly. But yet there's no proof of this. No one can corroborate this. Nothing. And yeah, so that's that. Yep. She even accused him in a Periscope comment. She even accused him. She said, Steve abused my son. That's exactly what she typed out. So yeah, she's crazy.
It makes me not want to talk to anyone because nobody cares. No one's this entire time has cared to see my side. No one has cared to see the person that I am. No one has cared. All they've cared about is making me evil. And I know I'm not an evil person. And it's hard to watch my channel just fall apart. It's been like the biggest thing and the most important thing to me. It's like watching people no longer watch and click on my videos when I'm working so hard. It's like watching like your dreams fall apart, knowing that the money that you're now spending on legal fees was supposed to be for your child. It's like, it's so overwhelming. And I feel like no one wants to speak up for me because they're so afraid of the mob. They're so afraid that if they do want to say something about me and they do support me, they're so afraid of these nasty trolls that have been trying to frame me for crimes. They are so, like, I'm looking at a screenshot yesterday of a guy literally admitting that he's trying to plant evidence to get me arrested. I mean, can you imagine seeing something and then knowing that they're actively doing it? And then creators making videos on it and acting like it's true? It's sad.
Where'd it go? Without a Jelly Donut asked, did Salty refile? To my knowledge, no, not yet. But to my knowledge, they're going to. I don't know when. I would imagine, though, because it's in Minnesota, it's a new court. It's a new state. Well, federal court still, but in a new state, in a new area, that they would probably have to. I don't know. They'd probably want to, anyways. Like, more, I guess, like maybe tweak their original filing and everything. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But so it could be, I would think maybe in a couple of weeks. That would be my guess. Like if they don't file like within a month, I'd start to like be like, dude, what are you waiting for? So I don't know. Oh my God, I love that name. Katie Joy's torn gay pride flag. She used me to accuse her neighbor of a hate crime. Oh shit, that's funny.
Watching my Twitter just shrivel up. Like no one even engages with me on Twitter anymore because they just think I'm this joke. And it's not even a real thing. Like it's not a joke. I'm not a joke. I have worked so hard to create this audience, and I have worked so hard to build relationships with my subscribers, and I have put my heart and soul into this for you guys. And all I've ever wanted to do with the content I make is to make you happy. And I just wanted to add commentary and add flair. And people say that this is like my karma, but I didn't do anything that warrants this. I haven't done anything differently than any of these other commentators that are talking about me at all. If you want to look at the facts of everything, that's the truth. I haven't done anything differently than any of the commentators that are currently talking about me. And
okay. Everyone in here who's a commentator and who has talked about Katie, type 1 if you also ignored 4 cease and desist from Tati, or from anyone for that matter. just type 1 if you also ignored 4 of them. Type anything else if you didn't. Oh God. Wow.
that's the scary thing for all commentary channels. Like, you shouldn't want this to happen because it's going to set a really shitty precedent. I want you to talk about me. I just want you to be a little bit kinder. I want you to stop the hate mob. I want you guys to realize that all of these videos have created such a tidal wave of hate that it's hard to get up some days. It's hard.
Genevieve says statute runs out in May. Only for any of the evidence or whatever, the things that they wanted to file on that happens in May of, like, I don't even know, what is it, 1 year or 2 years? I forget. Like, they can still file, but just whatever the time frame is, like if the statute is only good for, like, let's just say 1 year, just for argument's sake, anything that's under a year they can still file on. But like, the longer they wait, the more things will eventually become, past the statute. So yeah, but even if they waited until, like, say June or whatever, they'd still have a lot of things that they can add into the filing. But yeah, it would be better to do it when you can add everything.
For me to even move. And I just thought, like, the gaslighting that I've been under has been horrific. I say one thing and they gaslight me and say, well, you are a terrible person, so you deserve this. Or, I show reasons for why what is being said isn't true and that I'm supposed to shut up. Or then they flip they move the goalposts. So we weren't mad about you about that. We were mad about you about this. It's like this never ending game. I cannot speak for everyone, but honestly say that I don't hate you. I'm Switzerland and all this kindness still matters. So take a deep breath, get yourself some Starbucks and whatever, and keep your chin up. Thank you, Angelo. I just really need you guys to please be kinder, Angelo, and really just give me a chance to, like, show to you people that I'm not this horrible person. Because right now, everyone thinks I'm terrible and nobody has had the chance to see me. Thank you, Angelo. It bothers me a lot when people say, how does it feel now it's happening to you, but eventually it will happen to them too. So we can ask them how it will feel. Accountability, not cruelty. And I have apologized for so many of my mistakes. And I have said, I'm sorry. And I have made so many changes that I feel like have been so positive. And it's always the next thing that I've done wrong. I've been following you for quite some time. I believe you and stand with you. I've seen the horrible things people say and you don't deserve it. You're an amazing mom and woman and I adore you and I hate that you are in this bad place. Did I speak to you on Instagram Live, Ashley? Was that you? Because I can't remember, but thank you. Thank you for the message. We are here. We care. The truth will come out in the end. Thank you, Candace. I just, like, CPS has been at my house. We've had the police at my house twice. We've had to, we've installed cameras. I'm paying for attorneys. It's scary. And what I'm going through right now could happen to anyone. And as easily as it's so easy to go on this hate mob, it's like at some point you just have to ask people, like, you are really hurting my mental health. Like, could you please stop? I don't want to continue. I want to just do my job. I don't want to fight with people. I don't want to argue. But as much as you're entitled to an opinion, so am I. I feel like my voice has been stolen from me. I feel like people are trying to tell me to be silent. The same people that are telling me to be silent are the same ones that are demanding that there be free speech. The same ones that don't want to do deplatforming are actively working to deplatform me. The same people that have accused me of things have done far worse. So if we're really about not deplatforming people, then maybe we need to stop trying to destroy one another. I've never understood this idea of not just staying in your lane. Like, I can have an opinion on somebody's coverage of something. It's my opinion. But the way that some of these people put the information out about me, it is so vile and it is so cruel and it is so wrong. It's like bullying, and it's like Truth by Allie. How many more videos are you going to make about me? I mean, do you find joy in making me into a target? I know that you have been on the receiving end of this, Allie. You know what this feels like. I'm just begging you, Allie, could you please just stop? Please. Could you find someone else to pick on? Could you find someone else to turn into a meme? You have been on the other side of this, Allie. You know how shitty this feels. And I would hope that you see this and hear this, because every time I go into my channel, it's another video from you, and it's so vile. The titles are vile. The hate that people have from these videos, the ramping up that happens from these videos. It just needs to stop. Like, you don't have to like me, but I'm in the same business as you. And I don't want you to do bad. I don't want to do bad. I want to do well, and I want you to do well. And the same people that are doing this to me are finding joy and laughing because my views are down, and then they're accusing me of buying subs, which is not true. You know why my views are down, because you guys are all ruining my you're like all basically defaming me through lies, right? I have not been perfect. I have apologized endlessly. And like, what is your end game? Because I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm not going to leave. I'm not under, and everything I say, people say I'm lying. I literally have a meeting with my YouTube manager and I say, is my channel at risk of losing people? And they say, no, you're fine. Your channel's in great standing. You don't ever break the rules. You are good. And then people say I'm lying about that. Like, I didn't speak to my YouTube manager via Skype or Google meetups, you know, like I have. And then when I've reached out to people to ask them to remove their videos, then make videos about me asking them to take their videos down. So how are we supposed to exist in this kind of atmosphere where...
Thank you for the super chat, Keeping Up with KP. Thanks for staying up late to give the truth. You're welcome. Okay. Dude, I'm telling you're killing me with it. This kind of reminds me of was it the Gumby account? I don't know if anyone here remembers the Gumby account on Twitter. It's like the parody joking account or whatever. But Katie Joy's Torn Gay Pride flag is starting to remind me a little bit of the Gumby account. Not that I think you're the same person behind it, just it's that same kind of humor.
You can't even ask someone, creator to creator, like, could you please stop? Could you please just ease up a little bit? Could you please just find some compassion? Like, I don't want to destroy other creators, and I've never wanted to destroy other creators. And I've never wanted to like hurt anyone. And thank you, Natalie. I've been following Katie a long time too, and she's so kind and very supportive. I've seen her make mistakes and I've seen her apologize, and she has a really good heart. This hurts to see this happening. And that's the part that's frustrating, is I do apologize, and then people just don't. It's like they just want to come back and like bring up the same things that I've apologized for a million times and just hold it over my head. Like, you want me to apologize, but then you don't allow me to grow. And how do you actually sit in a space with people where you demand accountability, but then you don't let the people be accountable? And then you're constantly trying to manufacture or fabricate the next reason why you need to hold them accountable. If you're constantly grasping and looking for a reason for someone to be accountable, you're probably just doing this for the sake of views and to hurt people. I understand that drama sells, but I just really would love to not be everyone's content. I would love for the attorneys that are covering this case to maybe be a little bit more tactful and graceful and understanding how when they talk about me, they're not really always, it's just overwhelming. Once another drama comes out with a different YouTuber, they will move on. Except this is like the never-ending one. But it's like the most boring one because there's nothing here. And it's like, but manufactured stuff. I mean, if what you guys saw this week isn't evidence of what's happening with the manufactured stuff, like, I really hope you can see that. I have to ask you a question, just like human to human, Ashley. I've seen some of the things that you've said about me. I've seen the way that you treated me on an Instagram Live. And I just wonder sometimes, like, when people get like this, do you feel like you're doing it because you truly hate me? Or are you motivated because the mob is going to support the tactics? It feels so weird to have someone give me $50 in a super chat who on an Instagram Live was terrible to me. You know, it's hard for me to connect these dots in my mind. And while I hope this opens up a space where we can have a better dialogue,
I love this part because she's got the wrong Ashley.
I really hope this is a reflection moment for all of us to just realize that, like, we need to be nicer to people. There's so much unknown, and I feel for those who are threatened by mob. That's the horrible right now. It breaks my heart by those who are attacked. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, CJ. I think it's just like completely overwhelming. There are days where I don't even know how I'm going to pay for what I'm doing. I don't want to go bankrupt. I will fight for the truth. I will not let my name be destroyed. I will stand up for all of the other channels because no one should want this to happen, because if this happens, everyone that commentates is at risk. Freedom of speech matters so much, and we shouldn't be silenced, and I don't want to be silenced. I've never wanted to be silenced. And I feel like my voice has been taken from me, and people say you can't, you have to get offline. But I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to do my job. And then even when I'm trying to do my job, people are accusing me of crimes that I'm not doing. I have no reason to willingly commit crimes in front of your face. And I would never do it in such a blatant way. Like, why would I go out of my way to literally commit crimes and show you the evidence? If I was going to commit crimes, don't you think I'd be a little bit more tactful than like literally showing you what I'm doing? That wasn't you? Okay. I thought that was you, Ashley. Maybe that wasn't you. I'm sorry. There was another Ashley. Maybe you're not the Get Real. Are you not the Get Real, Ashley? I apologize. To the Get Real Ashley, then, I'm sorry. I didn't realize she admitted she was wrong.
Aussie Mom says, "Hey EKC, I know you spent a long time with us this live, so I know it's too much tonight, but I was wondering if you play what we thought was going to be her first apology video." I believe what the one you're referring to was My Story, My Statement, and My Mistakes. I think that was the name of it. See. Yeah, okay. I think that that's the one you're referring to anyways. I think that was the one that we thought was going to be her first apology video or whatever. The one where she's like reading like in a very like robotic like voice, and you could tell she's like reading something scripted off to the side or whatever. Yes, I will. I can absolutely play that next time. But yeah, like you said, we're going on over 2 hours and it's almost 3 a.m. here. So I do need to go to sleep. I was going to let this one play out and then I was going to wrap it up. But definitely next time. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Can I just say, I really love your channel. I used to watch from outside the window when KJ would watch you. Yes, she watches you. I stay in a bucket in the garage now. Oh, I'm sorry. Katie Joyce, torn gay pride flag. I'm sorry. And not for nothing, for what it's worth, I don't think that the neighbors or whatever hurt you. In fact, I don't even think it was the one. I think Katie did it. I think Katie was abusing you, honestly. Just saying.
Who are we talking about? Who admitted she was wrong? This isn't me needing to take a step back. This is honestly tonight me trying to just say, I'm sorry if I've upset you. I'm a human being. I will always be accountable. I am sorry that you are upset with me. I promise that in time, the truth will come out. I hope you realize that I'm a human that is not perfect, and no one is. I would hope that the same grace that you extend to others could be extended to me. I just want to get back to a space where I enjoy what I do and not feel scared to do my job. I don't want to be scared that every day I'm going to be framed for a crime that I didn't commit. I'm scared for my safety. I don't want to feel that way. I have, in terms of the content that I cover,
I'm just gonna say, Eileen D. I think you're right. I think we actually, like, for real, I think we need to do this
on my channel. Like, I try to be very balanced, and yes, I can be snarky sometimes, but that's like me being entertaining and being silly and goofy. And thank you. I feel like I've been begging you guys to hear this for 2 months and nobody's listening. So maybe this past week will be your wake-up call for you to realize that, like, this kind of behavior should not be acceptable to anyone. No one should want anyone in our community trying to pin crimes on people. No one should be bragging in DMs that they are trying to plant evidence so that I am convicted of federal crimes. Like, these are really things happening, and people are just like okay with it because the trolling has gotten so out of control. Convict people for crimes they actually commit. Don't manufacture crimes because you want to convict someone to prove that they're a bad person. They're so sick. I wish it was when
Billy Martin says, what? Framed for a crime? Now I'm wondering what crime she's committed that we don't know about. What she's talking about is it wasn't, no one was trying to frame her for a crime and or whatever. The screenshot she had of a DM was of this dude saying how he was basically just trying to like psych her out or run a bluff on her, you know. He was acting like he had evidence or whatever or something that, you know, could really blow proof of whatever, of some shit that she did. And someone made a comment to him about it or whatever. So what he did was he sent a DM to that person saying, listen, obviously, no, I don't really have this. You know, I'm just trying to trick her. I'm trying to get her into admitting some shit, you know. And that's exactly what the DM said, was that I'm just trying to, you know, get her to admit to shit. That was it. And he even said, I have no evidence. I'm bluffing, you know, whatever. That's it. But she took that as trying to plant evidence on her and to get her in trouble with the FBI or some shit.
You were silly and goofy and smiled so much. You should be able to be happy in your job all the time. It's been hard to be silly. It's been hard to be funny. It's been hard to be creative. It's been hard to put together anything. And this will pass. You're loved. You're fabulous. Deep breaths. I hope you feel better. Thank you. Like, part of the reason why I've always been, I know a lot of people don't like Trisha Paytas, and it's easy to drag her. And while there's times I don't agree with her, a reason why I won't often join the bully network against her is because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of it. And it's why a lot of times I will just try to look for good things that she's done instead of finding the bad. It's why I will choose unpopular opinions, because I think, well, it's easy to go with the easy option. I want to go with the truth. The narratives that we play on YouTube is sick. The manufactured drama is so over the top. The complete lack of integrity. The people that are screaming that we need to have accountability and dictating what we can and cannot report on, and saying that I've gone too far, have gone twice as far with me. The people that claim that we should not be reporting on anything outside of the surface, that actually does a humongous disservice. When you talk about reporting anything, you need to know more than just the surface if you're going to be adequately sharing a story. We shouldn't be just talking about it's not tea. Everybody has a right to share their stories and to share the content that they want to share. And you as a viewer have the option not to watch it. You don't have to watch a video if you don't want to watch it. No one's forcing you to watch it, right? Just like I don't watch a lot of true crime videos, I'm not going to go onto a true crime channel and tell them that they can't report on true crime because it's somebody else's trauma. That's not my place. That's what they've decided that they want to cover. Or people that cover really horrific crimes or really taboo subjects. Just because it might make me uncomfortable, there's an audience that might want to watch that. And so it's not my place to tell someone how to dictate and who they want to be. A lot of times I feel like the only reason why we dictate what people can and cannot say while advocating for free speech is because we want to destroy the competition. Why else would we as content creators or as these commentators that are going so viciously after me, why else? What else is the motivation? Because by disparaging my reputation, I will get less views and some of my subscribers will go over to you. And all I've ever wanted is to just be in a space where I'm happy and I'm accepted and I'm like, get back to my channel having good views and people enjoy the content and not send me so much negativity. This channel gets more downvotes every single day because the haters think that it's funny to downvote everything I do before I even open my mouth. They have decided they hate me. There will be videos where there's 400 more downvotes than upvotes. Like, people either aren't upvoting me or they just don't care. The funny thing is that I have taken I've learned so much throughout this process. But even when I cover people now, I think of it in the context of, see, that person just said, quit sad fishing. So now people are going to say that I'm fishing for sympathy by just being vulnerable. That's the kind of gaslighting I'm talking about. The people that just want to find negativity. But it's even helped me see the people that I cover with as human. I remember one of the first people that I met that I had so wrong, that gets so much hate. 2 people, Lindsay Chrisley and Mackenzie Edwards from Teen Mom. Lindsay Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best from Coffee Convos, and then Mackenzie Edwards, Teen Mom, Ryan Edwards' wife. Everyone hates Mackenzie, and she is literally the nicest woman, one of the nicest young women I've ever met. She's kind, she's caring, she's loyal, she's compassionate, she prays for people, she checks in with people, she has a wonderful heart. You know, Lindsay Chrisley, before I even knew who she was like the annoying girl on Coffee Convos. And I didn't know who she was. That's just how I thought of her. It was like, oh, she's the girl that's with Kale, you know? I didn't know that she was from a reality show until after her dad got arrested. I didn't know a lot about her. And I remember making videos and talking about Coffee Convos and just being really like, oh, and then Lindsay was really annoying, you know? And I've gotten to know Lindsay. I've been friends with her for like a year and a half now. And again, she's nothing like you see on social media. She's like completely the opposite, to be frank. And she's also an incredibly supportive friend and human being. And so, you know, you realize that sometimes the vision that you have of someone is not actually accurate until you start to like meet who they are and meet them. And then sometimes I think it's just a lot of people don't want to talk to the person that they cover because they don't want it to be human. Another person that I was kind of critical of before I really got into things was Amy Duggar King, because everyone always called her Famey, and everyone said that she was just like an attention seeker and she was trying to ride the coattails of her family. And it's easy to buy the narrative, you know? And then I got to know Amy Duggar King, and she's not like that at all. She's in fact very different than that. She's someone that just wants to be herself despite the name that she was given, you know? And that's been one of the biggest gifts of this job, is getting to meet people that are in the news and talk to them and learn about them and hear their stories and share those stories with you. It's been amazing getting to know these people. And then it's devastating when I find out that people are trying to interfere in these relationships and tell them not to contact me, constantly reaching out to them in DMs and telling them I'm a horrible human being. I mean, even Olivia Plath, who's a really nice woman, she had haters literally sending her messages, telling her that I'm like this dangerous human being, to the extent that she was like blocking me and she wouldn't talk to me. And then we finally spoke and she was like, oh, that's not true. Okay, sorry. And she realized just the same way that she's portrayed in the media is accurate, she might have gotten wrapped up in the idea of I'm someone too. There's plenty of like channels that are putting out content that isn't that doesn't bother me about me, that I honestly don't care about, that I'm not going to be like, oh, you're sucking. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care. There's only a few channels that really, I feel like, are awful. But even then, I don't do anything. I don't give them strikes. I don't report their videos. I don't even respond, you know, like so I just need support, you guys. So in the same breath that I'm saying thank you, I'm really shitty with that. I'm really shitty with asking for help. And I just want to say, like, I need your support. I need kind comments on my Twitter again. I need people to engage with me on Twitter again. Yeah. I'm almost done, buddy.
Molly, can you watch that? What's this?
He wants me to come in here and holler.
Oh.
You wrote my
I don't feel like I use people, but I'm sorry if you feel that way. I feel like I've been a really good I don't use people. I would never want to use anyone. In fact, like, there's people that I am able to be it was horrible and mean for me to eat M&Ms and joke about eating M&Ms. Okay, I'm sorry. I think everyone's entitled to have an opinion about me. And then, you know, I'm sorry that it upset you about eating M&Ms. I made a joke about someone getting upset about eating M&Ms, and then it turned into this whole thing because I apparently ate M&Ms, and it was just, and then that person has made a lot of videos about me. And, you know, like, if I can't please everyone, and I think it's really, you know, I think we need to remember as creators that we can't please everyone. And so sometimes we just joke when we see people. It was how I ate them. Okay. I literally just ate M&Ms and was joking because someone was like, people in the chat were like, don't eat, don't eat. And I honestly thought it was like a joke. But either way, this is totally irrelevant to what I'm talking about right now. And again, I'm sorry. I try to have like give and take silliness with my chats. And I'm sorry if sometimes that comes off mean. Sometimes you see so many complaints that you just sort of like are like, oh, somebody's eating M&Ms, like, and you're just being silly and goofy, you know? I'm not telling you that, see, I'm not trying to tell you that it's irrelevant. It's just not relevant right now. Like, I'm not trying to say that you're not relevant. I'm just saying, like, there's so many gripes like this, these tiny little complaints that have built up to these massive big deals that really aren't that big of a deal, right? It's not that big of a deal if someone jokes with you and is silly and is like, oh, you're just complaining about me eating M&Ms. And then people get very emotional about being silly or not being as sensitive. And unfortunately, in this job, you have so many people that have an opinion of you that everyone is going to feel a certain type of way. But that doesn't mean that the content creator behind that screen is doing anything to directly hurt you by not giving you the exact response that you wanted. It's hard when everyone has expectations and they want you to behave perfectly. And if you don't, then they remove their support, right? As it's like, we will support you, but it's contingent on one misstep. And then, you know, if you don't make that one misstep, if it's not M&Ms, it would have been something else. You know, it's, I don't eat frequently. One night I simply wanted to have some M&Ms on my stream. And I would just hope that people can be more understanding that content creators are people. You don't do it in a mean way while taunting others. See, but I don't believe I was taunting anyone, nor did I know anything about this person. I didn't know if they had anything. I didn't know this person from anyone else. You know, you have to remember, I don't know everyone personally. So when I see a comment, I have no idea. I don't know you from Adam, right? So to imply malicious intent, there's so much misunderstanding that happens, so much. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. I've seen more disturbing live videos, you having bad days and lashing out at them, then screenshots are not now fake, but videos are not. It's sad. Wait, what? I've seen more disturbing live videos, you having bad days and lashing out at them. Then screenshots are now fake, but videos are not. It's sad. I'm having a hard time understanding that. My brain is not computing. It's just that you're so rude to people, even your members, a lot. I'm sorry if you believe I'm rude. I'm sorry if I come off rude.
There was your typical Katie apology. I'm sorry if you think that.
Me, and I'm blunt and I'm straightforward, and I'm definitely never trying to be rude or mean. I've also been under attack, and try to put yourself in my shoes for a minute, please. And realize that, like, it's hard to be on the receiving end of this constantly. And sometimes it's hard to be gracious all the time. All right. So I want to get away from these negative comments. My intention here was not to be infiltrated by hate. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you believe that I'm rude, a good step going forward would be to wipe the slate clean of your assumptions everyone is a troll or out to get you, both sides. I will wipe the slate clean, and I will definitely be more open, but I'd also hope that people can be a little bit more graceful to me and, you know, understand that I can never please everyone, and I'll never be able to please everyone. And if I make a mistake, I'm sorry. I know we've had our disagreements, but harassment is not okay. Criticism is one thing. It makes us better people, but I would never, ever condone harassment against you or anyone else, period. Then please just try to constantly don't find reasons to criticize me. Okay, like, tipster, I would love to get to a place where we cannot have to deal with feeling like everything I say or do is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're a terrible human being at all. I will do better. But again, this is, thank you. I'm just asking for you guys to cut me some slack. And so in the same token that I have to wipe the slate clean, I'm just asking for you guys to wipe the slate clean. And if you don't like me, that's fine. But just stop the harassment. That's all I'm saying. Like, please stop planting evidence to try to get me arrested. Like, seriously, that's really scary. It's scary to think about having to deal with the FBI. You know, like it's scary to think about having real consequences for this kind of stuff. You know, it's scary. And having to spend hours upon hours upon hours to figuring out who's doing this, it's scary. Yeah, well, hacking is illegal. So, yeah, it's scary. Like what happened this week is scary. Yeah. So I'm going to just ask all creators that are doing this to please just give me some space. It has been constant barrage of just harassment and my channel, and I don't want to lose my livelihood because of being painted into a corner and feeling scared to even communicate with people. I've always been and prided myself on communication and doing this job and loving my subscribers and loving on you and also being silly and goofy and just thank you. Instead of calling me a Karen, instead of like saying I'm the worst and I'm doing all of these things, just please be kinder. I actually just want to get back to doing my job and having fun. I can't answer anything about it. I'm just saying, like, it's scary when you start to talk about the FBI, which has been talked about, and it's been all over the place this week. So I can't answer any questions. All I can say is that everything will come to light eventually. People will figure things out. I haven't done anything. I'm not scared for me with the FBI. Trust me. I'm not scared for me. It's not me I'm scared for. Okay? I'm scared for my safety because of what's being done. That's the difference. I've not done anything, but I'm scared for my safety and I'm scared for my family's safety. And I didn't do anything. So it is. Just go about your business and have a nice night. And thank you guys so much. If I've been blunt or rude and you didn't like it, I'm sorry. That's always who I've been and always what I've done. And sometimes I get threatened and feel threatened, and I'll try to do a better job of just understanding and seeing and being more patient. But I feel like it's going to take me a while to get there when when I'm constantly under a barrage of attacks. So in order for me to be able to do better, I need other people to also meet me in the middle. So can you just meet me in the middle here? Can we please just come to a space where we just stop this? That's all I want. Yes, and it's never okay to send hate, to send threats, to dox, to harass, to stalk. Don't ever do that to anyone. Don't ever do that for another creator. Don't ever do that in another creator's name. Don't do that because you think it's funny. Don't do it because you're bored. Just don't do it. And thank you guys. I gotta go.
Oh, I was muted. Okay. Hey, all right. That was the end of that one. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Sassy. Exactly. Okay, guys. On that note, I am going to call it a night because we're going started streaming 3 hours ago. Wow. Yeah, and I'm tired. I do have to go to work tomorrow, though. Not till the afternoon, but still tomorrow. So, yeah. So, good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. Oh, and I will talk to everyone tomorrow. Bye.